New Year to both of you.
Same to you.
Congressman, Republicans control both houses of Congress for the first time since President Obama took office. Will we see confrontation, compromise, or both?
Well, you know, Rev, in my profession, my other profession as a physician, the rule is listen to the patient. He's telling you what's the matter with him. And when you listen to what the Republicans are saying, it sounds like we're going to have nothing but endless confrontation from here right on to 2016. They simply are not going to let the president be a success if they can help it, because they think that will help the Democratic candidate in 2016, and they are going to do everything they can to bring him down. I don't see any spirit of compromise from the speaker on back to the Tea Party guys.
Dana, aren't Republicans going to be under pressure, though, to satisfy their base now that they control both houses of Congress? Isn't that the real problem here?
Well, the Republicans are going to be pulled in every which direction, Reverend. There will be pressure to pacify the base. There's going to be pressure exerted by the various presidential candidates. But there's also a lot of pressure on Mitch McConnell and on John Boehner to actually get something done up there. They now have sole ownership of Congress, which is, you know, about as popular in the American public as venereal disease. So whatever this Congress does right now is going to weigh one way or the other for or against the Republicans. And if they are just seen as throwing up obstacles, as making doomed efforts to repeal Obamacare, then the public is going to punish them for that. So I think they do have, they are under some pressure to actually compromise with this president for the first time, really, in his presidency.
You know, Congressman, today the Wall Street Journal reports the president will shift his strategy in the coming year. Let me quote the journal. The White House plans to pivot from President Barack Obama's reliance on executive actions in the coming year and invest more in a legislative strategy aimed at trying to advance key policy goals with the new Republican-controlled Congress. Will Republicans be open to compromise and moderation, knowing that they have to prove that they can govern now, Congressman?
Well, I believe that the president has been open to compromise for 6 years. He has tried, in fact, some of us think he's been a little too open to compromise, but the Republicans have never been willing to do it with him. On very rare occasions, John Boehner went to Leader Pelosi and said, look, I need a few votes. I can't get this bill passed on violence against women or something like that, and I need a few votes. And then we always gave them. We stopped all the bad things. The debt limit, we got that through. We did a lot of things when John Boehner finally came across. Now, he does not have that problem now. So it's all in his ballpark. And I don't know whether he he can satisfy his base at the same time. As Dana says, he's trying to satisfy his base, who keeps him in the speakership, and he tries to get something done for the country so that the Republicans look good going into 2016. That is a very tough stretch for the speaker.
I also am reading, Dana, Politico has a report that the president's plans for 2015 includes, quote, President Obama will use his State of the Union address to roll out an agenda aimed at tackling stagnating wages and helping Americans who feel left out of the economy's surge. Now, will this be central focus for the president and Democrats in the next year, Dana?
Well, it will be, Reverend, and it has been. The thing is, it hasn't gotten traction because the president could get up there and say, yes, indicators show that the economy is getting better, and people didn't feel it. Well, people are beginning to feel it now, whether it's because of the markets, because of the extraordinarily strong growth we've seen in the economy right now, the jobs report. So the president has a lot more credibility on this, and that's why you see his approval rating improving, and it will continue to improve as long as the economy continues to improve this way. So Obama is in a much stronger position than he was just a couple of months ago. He sort of hit his low watermark with the midterm elections, and I think he's ready for a big fight now, and he's got the wind at his back as he prepares to do battle with this all-Republican Congress.
You know, Congressman, Republicans have vowed to do something in response to the president's action on immigration. They just don't know what. I mean, listen to Speaker Boehner here.
The president, on the other hand, has ignored the will of the American people, and he's refused to listen. We're looking at a variety of options, both for right now and when Republicans control both houses of the Congress next year. This is a serious breach of our Constitution. It's a serious threat to our system of government. We've not made decisions about how we're going to proceed, but we are, in fact, going to proceed.
You serve with them, Congressman. How far do you think they're willing to go?
I really don't know, Rev. They are talking as though the president didn't get elected by a good majority in 2012. They say he's ignoring the wishes of the people, but he was elected by the people by a large majority who want some of these issues dealt with, that the Republicans, who because of gerrymandering control the Congress, they don't have a majority represented in the majority in the House of the American people because of gerrymandering. Well, they can't say that the president isn't listening to the people. And I don't see what they can do at this point except to really throw the budget and the whole financing system into a terrible mess. There really is no other way to do it except through the budget. And they've already tried that. They've shut the government down. It doesn't work. They've tried these things, and I think they're in a very tough spot. If I were them, I'd pivot and I'd go look at infrastructure. Gasoline prices are down.
Yeah.
There's just a great time to put a big infrastructure program out.
Because many of these issues, Dana, were before the voters when the president was reelected with this wide margin. And then when you look at the fact the Hill is reporting on looming budget wars, let me read them. The GOP has vowed to use control of the House and Senate to slash the size of government with entitlement programs such as Medicare and Social Security, a potential target for cuts. I mean, this is scary for a lot of Americans, Dana.
Yeah, well, good luck to them. You're not going to achieve that kind of change, whether it's to the entitlement programs or to the tax code, if you don't have buy-in from both parties. There do need to be changes to Medicaid and Medicare and Social Security, but it needs to be something that's done on a consensus basis. Now, are we going to get to that kind of grand bargain? It really doesn't look that way. But for the Republicans to think they can use the power of the purse to, by fiat, implement their agenda is just crazy thinking, as we've seen from the previous efforts that have resulted in shutdown. It's not going to turn out any differently whether they're doing it on entitlements or whether they're doing it on immigration than when they tried to do it on Obamacare.
Well, I'm going to have to leave it there. Congressman Jim McDermott and Dana Milbank, thank you, and have a great 2015 and a good weekend, too.
We intend to.
Coming up, lessons from Selma. What the film is telling millions of Americans about how to achieve real change in the fight for social justice.
We will not wait any longer.